Found an old voicemail I forgot to save, from a number I no longer recognize. 30 seconds of somebody laughing hard at something I can't quite remember now. I played it 7 times beside the window, trying to place the voice, the year, the day. Some memories dissolve before you catch them, like writing someone's name in morning rain. I don't know why the little things hit hard. It's not the big goodbyes, but the small ordinary ones. The Tuesday afternoons that disappeared without a single warning, they were done. We are a film we never finished watching, left paused on someone's shelf collecting dust. I keep on pressing play, but nothing happens, just static where the story used to be. And I don't know if I'm mourning something over or missing something I just couldn't see. We are a film we never finished, and I keep wondering how it ends, how it ends. My childhood bedroom got repainted yellow. The blue I grew up under finally gone. My mother said she thought it needed freshening. I stood there in the doorway for too long. The tree I carved my name in by the garden got taken down the summer I turned 30. I never thought to photograph it once. Now all I have is memory and it's mercy. They say you can't go home again, and maybe they mean the home inside your mind more than the place, because the walls stay standing and the room stays standing, but the version of you and them gets erased. We are a film we never finished watching, left paused on someone's shelf collecting dust. I keep on pressing play, but nothing happens, just static where the story used to be. And I don't know if I'm mourning something over or missing something I just couldn't see. We are a film we never finished, and I keep wondering how it ends, how it ends. How it ends. I read the letters that I wrote at 17 to nobody in particular, just time full of questions I still haven't answered, and dreams that turned out neither wrong nor right. That boy was so convinced that life had meaning, that everything was building toward a thing. I wanna tell him that he wasn't wrong exactly, just that meaning looks different than he was imagining. Because the moments that I thought were just the middle turned out to be the whole point all along. The waiting rooms, the detours, and the in-betweens were where I was most fully and most beautifully wrong. We are a film we never finished watching, left paused on someone's shelf collecting dust. I keep on pressing play, but nothing happens, just static where the story used to be. And I don't know if I'm mourning something over or missing something I just couldn't see. We are a film we never finished, and I keep wondering how it ends, how it ends, how it ends. My old dog's collar hangs beside the door. I should have moved it years ago, I know, but something about leaving it exactly where she left it feels like letting go. And letting go has never been my strongest. I hold on to the ordinary weight of ticket stubs and birthday cards and jackets, like time is something I can negotiate. But maybe holding on is just another way of saying I am grateful that it happened, that I would rather carry all this tenderness than live a life where nothing ever mattered. So here's to the voicemail I can't place, and the blue room painted over yellow, and the tree that held my name for 20 years, and every ordinary hello. Here's to my 17-year-old handwriting, and the dog who greeted me at every door, and every Tuesday that dissolved without a warning, and every film we never finished anymore. I'm not sure I believe that time is wasted when it leaves you with this kind of ache, because the ache itself is proof of something beautiful that was real enough to matter and to break. And if I had the chance to do it over, I wouldn't rush a single second through. I'd sit inside each moment like a movie and watch the whole thing all the way to the end of you. Film we never finished watching. We are a film we never finished watching, left paused on someone's shelf, collecting dust. I keep on pressing play, but nothing happens, just static where the story used to be. And I don't know if I'm mourning something over or missing something I just couldn't see. We are a film we never finished, and I keep wondering how it ends. How it ends. Maybe it never ends. Film we never finished. The voicemail I can't place, 30 seconds of laughing. Film we never finished. The blue room yellow now, the tree beside the garden. Film we never finished. I found an old voicemail I forgot to save, from a number I no longer recognize. 30 seconds of somebody left. The neighbors upstairs stopped fighting an hour ago. Now there's nothing but the hum of the refrigerator. I turned the television off on purpose tonight, to see if I could sit inside the quiet without running. Turns out I can't. Turns out the silence has a voice of its own, and it knows every single thing I've been avoiding, and it says them all at once. Nobody tells you that the hardest kind of lonely isn't being by yourself in an empty room. It's being full of everything you cannot say to anyone at all. I am loud in the silence, screaming where nobody hears. I am loud in the silence, drowning in the middle of my fears. The walls know every version of my breakdown, the ceiling knows the prayers I never speak. I'm loud in the silence, and the silence is the loudest thing, the loudest thing about me. The loudest thing about me. I reorganize my bookshelf at 2 in the morning, alphabetical, then by color, then by feeling. Kept going till my hands had something useful to do besides just shaking at the ceiling. I made a cup of tea I didn't drink. I wrote 3 texts I didn't send to anyone. I sat beside the window watching nothing until the nothing started looking back at me. There's a version of this night that ends with sleeping. There's a version where the morning comes and saves me. But right now I am stuck inside the in-between, where everything is loudest and most real. I am loud in the silence, screaming where nobody hears. I am loud in the silence, drowning in the middle of my fears. The walls know every version of my breakdown. The ceiling knows the prayers I never speak. I am loud in the silence, and the silence is the loudest thing. The loudest thing about me. The loudest thing about me. I called my best friend, but she didn't pick up. I almost left a voicemail, but I couldn't find the words. How do you explain to someone that you're fine, but the kind of fine that sits like something broken? I ended up just laughing at myself, at the absurdity of falling apart on a Wednesday, at the way the human heart can hold so much and still want more and still feel empty anyway. Because lonely isn't always about the people. Sometimes it's about the distance inside yourself, between the person that the world thinks that you are and the one who sorts a bookshelf at 2 a.m. I am loud in the silence, screaming where nobody hears. I am loud in the silence, drowning in the middle of my fears. The walls know every version of my breakdown. The ceiling knows the prayers I never speak. I am loud in the silence, and the silence is the loudest thing. The loudest thing about me. The loudest thing about me. By 4 o'clock the city starts to breathe again. The garbage trucks, the early birds, the bakers. And something about knowing other people exist makes the silence slightly less impossible. I make another tea and this time drink it. I sit beside the window watching morning, and somewhere in the gray between the dark and light, I feel myself begin to come back slowly. Maybe this is what the night is actually for. Not sleeping but the sitting with the hard things. Not escaping but the learning how to stay inside yourself until the morning. I wanna be the kind of woman who can hold this, who doesn't need the noise to drown the quiet out, who sits inside the loudest of her midnights and comes out understanding what it's all about. Because I think there's something buried in the silence, something true that only surfaces at 3, when all the versions I perform for other people have finally gone to bed and left just me. And she is more than I have given her credit. She is raw and she's realer than I show. She sorts her books at midnight when she's hurting, and watches morning come and lets herself let go. So I am done apologizing for my silence, done pretending that the quiet isn't hard. Because the loudest thing about me in the darkness is also the most honest and the most I'm mine. I am loud in the silence, screaming where nobody hears. I am loud in the silence, drowning in the middle of my fears. The walls know every version of my breakdown. The ceiling knows the prayers I never speak. I am loud in the silence, and the silence is the loudest thing. The loudest thing about me. The truest thing about me. The most beautiful thing about me. Loud in the silence. Refrigerator humming, 2 a.m. bookshelf. Loud in the silence. 3 texts unsent, tea gone cold. Loud in the silence. Best friend didn't garbage trucks.